Hi, I'm Keith McGuire. Mark's behind the camera, and today we're going to paint an old barn window. I'm going to begin with kind of deciding what colors I want to use. Since it's a barn, red. Barn red.
Barn red.
Barn red it is. But what we're going to start with is the frame and probably the panes of glass. And then we'll work our way out. So I'm going to begin with grabbing...
Are we outside of the barn looking in or inside the barn looking out?
No, I'm kidding. I don't know. We are going to be kind of not looking in because the windows are all dirty and everything, but it is the outside of the building. There's going to be plants and things growing up around the window.
Ooh,
so,
nice.
Yeah. So this is, we're not going to get too complex. This is going to be kind of a fun study, basically, just to kind of get the feeling of working with color, working with paint. Now, this paper is Arches, but this is a 300-pound cold press. I usually work with a 140. The 300-pound absorbs more paint, has a little more texture to it, and, you know, for doing old crusty things, perfect. So, I'm going to start by pulling a little bit of indigo. Nope, I haven't found it yet. I'll just keep looking until I do.
So Keith's using his low Cornell brush. He's got his Schminky hand paints.
There it is.
An enamel butcher tray. He's already mentioned his Arches watercolor paper. There's going to be links in the description for where you can buy all this fun stuff. If you use our links, we get a small commission, and it's greatly appreciated. You don't pay any extra. If you want to use them as a checklist to go purchase at your local art center, too, that's a great idea.
Thank you, Mr. Hicks. And now, I'm going to start by wetting the surface of the panes of glass. Now, I've got, the little cross panels, which we will paint in. But right now I'm just going to start with one. And then I'll mix my colors. So I put a little burnt sienna and a little bit of, what is that? Indigo. And my windows are not going to be all that reflective because they're old, they're very dusty, and very crusty. How's that sound? So first things first, this is a very dark color, but of course, when I pull the color out, add water, you can see a very thin light gray. Now, this is why I like using these pans. I can pull the color out and see what I have, okay? Whereas some of the plastic trays, it just all beads up, and I gotta guess. So that's what I want right there. I'm gonna start applying. Now, this paint, or the panels, are already wet, okay, and I'm just putting down a very light layer, and as you can see, I'm not going to paint everything. It's just going to kind of bleed around and do what it has to do. So I'm going to add a little more color at the top. All right, a lot of more color at the top, but I am going to thin it down a little bit with a little more water, pull it around a little bit. All right. So like I said, the idea is it's kind of streaky, it's kind of gray, it's not real clean. I'm sorry, I'm picking it up just so that I can let the paint kind of roll down the front of the piece. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this this indigo. I'm going to mix it with the burnt sienna, and what I get is a kind of a much grayer color. Instead of the blue-black of the indigo, I get a much grayer color. I'm going to add that again to the panel. I'm going to kind of streak it down. And again, I'm going to lift my paper, just kind of let it bleed down a little bit. And we're just going to kind of let that set up. And go right to the next one. I'm going to do that one. Now the nice thing about the the gray, the whites that we're going to use, I think are going to go very well with the barn red that we're going to use around the building, around the window itself. So again, streak, streak. It's like dirt and grime is just kind of flowing slowly down. I'm sorry, I won't be able to show the dead flies on the...
Aww.
Yeah, I know.
What about the scary guy sleeping in the corner?
No. This is farm country. There are no scary guys. Except in Cold Blood. I think that was the only movie that... Alright, so... now this lower window, the two lower windows, one I have it kind of broken out, which I'll show you in a little bit. And also I have like something kind of sitting on the window ledge. We can tell they're old bottles or something, but we're not, you know, because the windows are kind of dirty, we're not going to be able to really see too much detail. You'll know they're there, but that's about it. Okay.
What is it with old farmers and farms leaving bottles on the window?
It's a law, I believe. Last panel, I'm going to very quickly
move the paper that way.
Back this way? Okay.
Thank you.
What I'm doing right now is I'm going to paint around what leaves. I've got an old kind of like vine kind of going up the side of the wall and kind of in front of this particular window here. So I'm just kind of filling this in real quick. And then I'm going to add a little more of that gray again. Ooh, there's my dirty color. I'm sure everybody's excited. Ooh, dirty windows. Yeah, that's what I want a painting of. You never.
I've got a whole house full of dirty windows.
Yeah, I'm used to it. Yeah, that's it. All right. So.
Familiar subject matter.
Exactly. Not sure what a clean window would look like, Mr. McGuire. Thank you.
Next time I'm going to make you paint a clean window.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, according to me, Keith.
You paint great rectangles.
Thank you, Keith McGuire. Oh, R.K. McGuire. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to leave the what's that called? The frame of the window frame. I don't know. It's going to be kind of a dirty whitish gray. So we're going to pretend this barn was red. The windows were painted white, and the window frames were painted white, and then we got the little, what is that? A vine? Okay. So I'm going to let this kind of dry up. I'm going to work out here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm not going to wet this panel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag my brush down using the side of my brush. It's got some paint in it, but not a lot. Now, this is where you can kind of see that texture that the paper has, this Arches paper. So I'm just kind of dragging it down, creating a nice torn up old 40-year-old, 50-year-old paint job. So again,
which color is that still?
This is kind of that burnt sienna and indigo combo. I like the two colors mixed together because I can get colors anywhere from, you know, brown gray to blue gray with a very wide range of colors in between. I use it, it's kind of cool. I use it for everything. I use it for cement, for lichens, all kinds of texturous kind of things that
Move the paper.
Move it again?
You keep going out of frame.
Sorry. But if I go out of frame, I can tell people how well I'm doing. All right, so as you can see, very rough, lots of texture, not a lot of detail, no need. Now I'm going to put a little bit of detail in. So I'm just going to take and drag some fine lines through what I've already painted. And some of the color will separate and the lines will get fatter and thinner. This is kind of how I create old barnwood. Okay. And it doesn't hurt that the paper is got so much texture on it.
Yeah, it would help if we could see the paper.
You can't?
No, you keep going so far to your right. There you go.
Maybe I should scooch.
That's it.
I'm scooching. Scooching.
For some reason, you want to paint this painting at a 45-degree angle in your chair.
It's true. It's easier for me to get a good straight line going across. That's kind of a little bit of what I'm doing. All right. So on this side, I'm kind of don't want to get too busy because I don't know what kind of how much color I'm going to use for my leaves and where it's going to go and everything. So I'm going to leave that kind of go for now. Okay. All right. Am I in?
Yeah.
All right.
Right smack in the middle. You should be.
All right. So I'm going to come under here. There is a bit of a ledge, so I'm going to kind of show that as a shadow under there. Is that what it's called? Window ledge?
Sure. Window sill.
Sill, that's it. I love making up my own.
I don't think it was a wrong term.
Oh, okay, good.
Not
the best.
the most common.
Yeah, okay. All right, so again, I am just getting some shadow under that ledge. Sill. That's it.
Now you're putting the shadow in before you do the barn color?
I did a little on the, yes. And it'll be fine because the paint is, the red that I'm going to use has probably a little bit of opacity to it. So what's going to happen is it's not really going to be gray. It's just going to look like a little bit of a darker red. And I'm not doing it on everything. I just did it under that one, you know, the window frame, just that one spot. All right, so at this point, I come in now. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of sepia to what I'm doing. And I'm going to start kind of pulling out some of my what would you call these? The frame corners, that kind of thing. So I'm just trying to pull a little color so you can see these corners. I'm mixing it with a little bit of indigo, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And the older the frames, you know, the bigger, or, you know, not painted well or hasn't been painted in a while, the grain cracks a little bit heavier, a little bit more, okay? All right. I'm not going to get crazy. So like I said, this is supposed to be a little more on the fun side rather than too serious. All right. At this point, I'm going to, while I'm kind of waiting for this interior to dry, I'm going to grab some red.
Take a quick break real quick. Let me reset the cameras.
Okay.
We'll let that dry and set for a second, and then we'll come back and do
Sounds
the
good.
and then wrap it up.
All right. Sounds good. Okay, we let everything dry up. We're back. I'm going to take a bit of paper towel, and I'm just going to clean a little bit of my tray so I can get some red down and not, you know, cross-pollinate here and come up with a new color.
What brand paper towel do you recommend, Keith?
Nice. See, I had red in there and it made me waste it. Gosh.
Wherever you want to buy it.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, well, we do have a link to, no. I'm trying to think of somebody.
I can link to somebody's paper towel.
Yeah. Brawny. There we go. I was trying to think of it. All right. So, now the barn red, what I want to do is probably get a couple reds going here. That looks not bad. So I used, looks like I used deep red in the Schminky kit and Cad Red Light. Let's put some on paper and let's see what we end up with. Now,
did you mix them just to make it difficult, or
no?
I mean,
no, I didn't want it too dark, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do want it. It's got to be kind of a deep color, or you know, we don't want candy apple red barns. I don't think them are.
This is supposed to be an old barn, not a freshly painted barn,
right?
Correct?
And usually the barn red is usually a much more somber kind of red. Usually. So.
Somber red. I should market that.
A new.
That's a new color.
I just created it. Patent pending. So as I get near to my plant here, I don't want to. I'm kind of guessing. Because I want the plant to probably be last, so, or near last, so I'm kind of leaving certain areas alone, and I don't know if I like this red yet. And here's what I recommend, boys and girls: don't experiment on your painting. Don't be me. I want you to get out there and put some paint on a piece of paper and look at it and decide, yeah, that's what I want, or no, and let it dry completely. That's kind of the other important part of this, you know. Watercolors, all watercolors look good when they're wet. They're gorgeous when they're wet. If I could figure out a way to make them stay wet, you know, but that is not the case. So you want to put it down, and don't forget also that watercolor paper or watercolors dry 40% lighter. It's just the way it is. So always, you get a chance, I recommend that you, if you're not sure, get a piece of paper and test it. Me, I am so confident in my ability. No, basically what it is I kind of have confidence in this paint, so I think we're going to be fine.
And if not, we'll fix it in Photoshop.
Right. Actually, what I'll do is I like to, I'll end up muddying it up anyway, because it's an old barn, so we're going to have texture, you know, little cracks in the wood, the whole 9 yards. So, but I think it's kind of fun. It really brightened up the picture. All right. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'm going to put the green in let's get these leaves going so that I know where they are. So I'm using the May green, a little bit of the olive green mixed together, and I don't think I want to paint every individual leaf, but I might. I think what I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to blot in some color. I'm going to blot in some greens. And then we'll kind of turn them into stuff as we go. The fun, wet watercolor feel. So up here, basically all I'm doing is some of these leaves are going to be defined, and the rest are just going to be kind of a nebulous blob that I will then pull, pull the detail out of later on with subsequent layers of paint. That sounded good. I'm going to write that one down. Secretly, everybody knows I'm full of poop. So my students are often commenting on my ability to turn a phrase poorly.
Everybody's got their skills.
Yeah, whatever. As soon as I learn to talk, I'm calling in. Alright, so as you can see, my greens in these nebulous blobs of green, I have varied the colors a little bit because nothing's always the same color. There's going to be shadows, lights, and darks. So very quickly, I'm trying to pick up my pace a little bit. I promised Mr. Hicks this would be a quick one, and
I didn't know you were going to paint an entire bush on the edge of the window.
You know what? I didn't want it to be,
No, keep it in.
I didn't want it to be wimpy. It needs to be a... I always laugh when I see that kind of thing, where there'll be one little scraggly thing. It's like, why bother? Alright, so... Alright. So, I got a nice little shrubbery. You might ask where this barn is at. It's in my imagination.
I was more concerned with the red starting to look kind of pinkish.
Yeah. Again, 40% lighter. Okay? So it does, you got to put your time in with your watercolors to learn how deep a value, how far do we go, that kind of thing. Now, if anybody knows me, and I think 4 of you do.
Do we really know anybody?
Yeah. If you, my students know that I'm not a big fan of red. Just, I don't know what it is. I can't get reds the way I want them to be. I think it's because they're a little flatter in value than I would like. So that's why, people always ask me, oh, paint me a cardinal. No.
Can it be a blue cardinal?
Yes, it could be a blue cardinal. Actually, someone challenged me. There's a little different cardinal. I don't know if it's in Europe or whatever. Has a red head, and the rest of the body is like white and black, and I like it. It's perfect because it's only a little bit of red.
You could always paint a female cardinal. They're not as bad.
You know what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about female. I did, actually. It's actually kind of funny, it's like, well, that's okay,
Technically, you fulfilled the requirement, but
I don't think I'm going to be selling that one anytime soon. And they do, technically, it's very good, Well, thank you. You know, nobody wants a brown cardinal. Sorry, ladies. Anyway.
Now, do you get a richer value by doing a dry brush technique versus diluting it with the water? Or is it minuscule?
Yeah. Well, you know, you need the water to move the paint onto the paper. I mean, or you just get scrubby dryness, which I was trying to get some of that, okay? I was varying the color here and there, too, so that I get, you know, when I'm doing this barnwood, you know, some of it's faded, some isn't. Anyway, so that's why I'm, you know, it's kind of a little bit different. I'm going to start applying sort of like my planks for the barn. And right now I'm doing the kind of heavier planking, and then later I'll add some more texture. Well, you better hurry with that. All right, so as you can see, I am getting there. So right now I'm just kind of getting a little bit of detail in. It doesn't have to be awesome, but you know, it's just trying to get it in. So I'm going to get a little more shadow under this under that ledge there, window ledge. A little color here. All right, so now I applied that pretty much on dry paper. Then what I like to do is I'll kind of come and maybe soften one side of it and let the other side kind of stay as a hard line. That's going to be more shrubbery. Okay. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of this, it's called Venetian red, and I'm going to mix it with the deep red again. Alright, so this is a little new and a little different. And I'm going to start just kind of pulling some of the fine lines down, so you get the feeling of the grain of the wood, the kind of the broken grain. How am I doing?
All right.
I know this is longer than I thought. We were going to give you a real quick one. Not so quick now. So but secretly, Mark knows I'm not that fast.
It's not a secret.
Shut up. Leave me alone. All right. Also,
keep trying to entice them. I said you can't eat until you.
Yeah, exactly. I got my two tones to the floorboard now. All right. Warp factor 8, Scotty. So, again, as you can see, I just add a little bit of texture. Now I'm using the side of my brush on dry paper, and I'm just kind of dragging it a little bit just to get that old barnwood feel. Or as we say, old battleship feel. I just want to know if anybody noticed I gave up my peaceful, peace-loving bandana for something with a pirate theme to it.
This video is not sponsored by Disney or the Pirates of the Caribbean.
What do you mean? Now, did I mention them at all? And I'll tell you right now, there were pirates before Disney and what's his name?
Nothing came before Disney.
What? Seriously, what is that actor's name again?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. Yep.
All I know is the thumbnail for this video now is going to be you with a pirate patch on and.
Oh, that'll be cool. Can you do the eye thing over my glasses?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. He looks stupid.
Arr.
Arrgh.
Paint a barn window.
Hey.
Pirate's cage.
With a pirate. Be afraid.
And then I'll get trolled because you won't actually have the patch on while you're painting.
Yeah. You know, you can't please everyone. I just... So, why all the senseless chatter, Keith? Because I'm trying to get done. Alright. Trying to distract Mark while I'm trying to get done. Alright, so, I kind of like that. It's got that rough barn texture to it now. And you can even have a little fun by adding... Fun? Really? Just a tiny bit of there's a word for it. Dirt. Indigo. You just put a little indigo here and there, just kind of give it that yummy dirt feeling. Okay, thank you. All right, back to the windows now. I think my shadow, my light's kind of coming from this direction. I tend to do it that way. So
let's rotate the picture so you can't keep track.
You guys will never figure out what I'm doing.
I'm going to get a little light bulb sticker made up of me, just stick it in the corner.
Telling you. That's what my dad used to do. He made us draw circles and squares and triangles until we were purple, I think. And then he stuck either a little light ball or a little sunshine up in a corner or to the side, and that's how he taught us to do shadowing, and very effective. I use it on my kids' classes. It's very effective. I think kind of gives you a point of reference, you know, and it did teach us very well. It was kind of fun. My dad was a secret. He wanted to be an artist. He was at the time, I believe, he was a draftsman, but he had visions of art, and he used to take us kids down to the museum in Detroit, and we just had a great time. The fun part was, you know, by the time there was a lot of kids in my family, by the time I was 8, 9 years old, we were all better than him. And that was it. All of a sudden, the art lessons ended, and the trips to the museum, and it was kind of sad. But he did.
Gonna start working.
Yeah, he did actually, raise up a bunch of fine young artists at the time. But it was a repetition of, and there's something to be said for a, 7-year-old that can catches the concept of shadowing, early. I'm telling you right now, those nuns truly appreciated my work for all them dang bake sales. That's for sure. Anyway, at this point, I've kind of gotten my little, what do you call that thing? The little cross beams. I've got them painted in now, and I'm trying to make them pop out a little bit more by adding a little more dirt to my windows.
I'm going to have to reset camera in a second.
Oh, man. I'm sorry. Okay.
So hold off on there, and we'll be back in half a second.
All right. I am back. I was letting things dry up a little bit.
Don't lie. We had to reset the camera. Let's set that right out loud.
You're embarrassed. You're embarrassing me now.
It was 5 seconds ago.
I was waiting for the paint to dry.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
toast to pop.
So I'm gonna. Ooh, what's that? I heard it.
Toast?
No.
Pop?
I do believe there's a... Somebody broke this window.
Oh.
Really?
Ooh, exciting!
Is that a dark spot on that painting? Thank God. We're about to lose our minds. Okay, so, fine.
Nothing says art like a large, black, irregular shape in the middle
Yes,
of your painting.
exactly. So, I accidentally broke this window.
Can you put a cobweb in the window?
No. Do you want to be done in you want to be done in 10 minutes? I think not. Anyway, so basically I just kind of bust out a little bit of the window there. It'll be all right though. Okay.
Speaking of windows, can you paint a picture of stained glass with watercolor?
Yeah.
Okay, that might be a future video.
Oh. Really? Sounds like work. I don't know. You told me this was going to be fun. Alright, so...
You picked the subject matter.
I was so angry, I broke out another window now. Alright, there we go. Alright. Okay. I always like when the dirt flows down from the actual broken window. Dust and dirt. Okay. So you
I
can
went to school with a guy named Dustin Dirt.
dust and dirt. Dusty roads. Dusty roads. All right. So at this point, I'm going to come in very quickly. Yeah, right. And I'm going to try to finish up my plants a little bit here. So what I do is, as I'm painting these things, I like to just kind of work my way around as things dry. I will come in and work on that, and then I'll work on this, and I'll just keep working my way around the painting till it's done. What I'm doing right now is basically I'm kind of outlining a few of these things. Now we don't want to leave them as outlines. So what I do is I just come in underneath, pull a little more color, and these become then, the lighter parts of the leaves with a little more light and reflection on them. Why'd he stop talking? Holy crap. Alright.
Excited to see what you're going to do with that last window paint.
I'm going to break them all,
We've
damn
got a
it.
broken one. We've got a broken one with a crack. We've got one with a plant growing over it, and we have one that's untouched. The suspense is killing me.
The pristine one.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's always one window that survives somehow.
Not if my brother Kevin's involved.
Can you do like a smiley face, like somebody took their finger
Oh,
and put a
God.
smiley face into the dirt?
Yes, I can. You want to go there? Fine. So anyway, as you can see, I just keep putting in some color, pulling in some more little deeper greens here and there.
I think there should be a hole under the windowsill, like where the barn wood just totally broke away, and you can... We're gonna go for this. We might as well go for it now.
You want to go there? Fine. So there's lots of... Your wish is my command. How broken away?
About 3 minutes worth of broken away.
Ah, seriously.
Or
Holy crap. Alright, so
30 seconds of broken away.
here we are. I've broken away a couple very good chunks of this.
There's gotta be a spot for the mouse to climb through.
Oh, the one thing I did want to do, and I'm not sure I can get it in here in the amount of time left, You didn't know there was a time limit, did you, folks?
Is there berries growing on that vine?
There can be. Yeah, you're the one that wants me to finish it, but...
I'm just asking questions. I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
necessarily insinuating that you have to put something in. I'm trying to figure out what your
My plan is?
capabilities or
Oh,
what
now!
can you do?
Now we're getting down to it. Really? Can you actually draw a plant or not? Are you going to put some flowers on it? No. How about a food crop then? Something we can all eat.
What a big bowl of strawberries.
Yeah, the beautiful strawberry plants. So I'm going with a little bit of the cerulean blue to create some really good darks in the
You don't say.
in the plant again. You want to get some value. It can't all be light or medium values. You just really gotta make an effort that you get some of them darks in. Okay, and then that also means probably getting a shadow or two. That's what I'm doing now. Just trying to get a little bit of, go with that Venetian red again. And I think at this point, just going to get a little more value here and there. Just pop it a little bit more. Mismatched, misshapen. All right. So now what do you want? Mice? You want to go home, right? Hungry. I want to go home. So I was going to put an old, kind of an old jar in the window, or old bottle.
All good old bottles belong.
Just let it kind of be there, but not there, because it's now you're wondering, that's kind of weird. What I'm going to do is I'll lift it. Yeah. So it's still kind of there, but...
Because it would be on the other side of the glass.
Right. That's kind of what I'm doing. So, except, can't quite get the I'm trying to get some value, but not too much value. Okay. And all right. Almost, boys and girls. So, with watercolors, often you have to hit it a couple times. It's really actually kind of hard to do it all in one shot. So, I am reapplying the dark to the window. Let them just be sort of like that. I'm bleeding away some of the bottle, so it's actually kind of hard to make out, but it's there. All right. Should we leave this one paint alone, or?
Yeah, there's got to be one that's unobstructed, right?
Okay, I'm just going to add a little more dirt. How's that?
Very good.
All right. Let's let it go for here, okay? Like I said, this was supposed to be just kind of a quickie, and I tricked Mark totally.
Told you,
yeah.
sucker.
So I still think that we could possibly break this into a couple chunks if you say part deux with lettering. Anyway.
I'd rather say if you made it this far in the video and didn't fall asleep while Keith painted
broken glass. Nice.
Let us know in the comments below. Put let's see.
Oh my God! Put
Keith looks better in blue in the comments below,
yeah.
And maybe I'll pick somebody at random and send them something.
That sounds good. Like this window.
Yeah, or a print or something.
Oh, okay.
Something actually that they'd want.
Oh, nice.
But
you know what?
Follow the rules. It's got to be Keith looks better in blue. If you watched all the way through.
All right.
And that's how I'll know.
That's actually scary.
Not everybody wins. I'll pick one or two people out of the four of you that finished.
All right, fine. I see where this is going.
Tune in next week. We'll go back to the regular scheduled programming of dead grass.
Yep, and abusive behavior. All right. Okay, sir, I quit.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Give the video a like if you want to see more content like this.
Nice. All right.
Check out Keith's website. He's got a class schedule for if you're local to the Saline area. And remember, there's links to all of the materials that Keith used in the video today in the description. We get a small commission if you use them. If not, use it as a checklist to go purchase at your local art center. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, everybody. Don't listen to Mark. Bye.